So I know how every day it can just feel like a drag when you look at your news feed, right? Bad news here, bad news there. Well, I'll just tell you this, guys. It's not going to be like that forever as we finally got some good news. Check this out. Zoran Mandami wins New York City mayor's race. This was just announced. Looks like they had a pretty good turnout in New York City. So if you're in New York, give a shout out. Mandami wins New York City mayor's race after highest turnout in decades. So they're still counting the votes. He's at about 50% right now. Cuomo's at 41. And then again, they had a big turnout. Around 2 million New Yorkers showed up. And we'll see what the final poll is. Now, this is not the only good news tonight. It was a really, really big wins as the blue wave looks to be a coming for midterms. Democrat Abigail Spanberger elected governor of Virginia. And this is the first female candidate to win in Virginia. Fantastic. And also, you got another win. I'm telling you guys, a lot of wins. Democrat Mickey Sherrill projected to win New Jersey governor race. So let me show you the count, because that's the first question I always ask, like, how close is this stuff and what does it mean for other races? Because you want to know. This was an earlier count. They were saying Zoran around, 49, 50. The latest one, I think, was 50%. Here you have Mickey Sherrill. She had, 57% to the Republican candidate at 42. So what is that? That is a 15-point swing, right, for the blue. And go blue team. And then you got Abigail Spanberger. She was at 56.2 as of recording. We'll see what the final count is. And then her opponent, Winsome Earl, was at 43%. So again, double-digit wins here. Barack Obama was tweeting out. He says, "Congratulations to all the Democratic candidates who won tonight. It's a reminder that when we come together around strong, forward-looking leaders who care about the issues that matter, we can win. We've still got plenty of work to do, but the future looks a little bit brighter." Now, I'll just say this. I had my feelings that things would go this way, but in this day and age, do not take anything for granted. I didn't want to jinx anything, and I'm not going to just come out and say, hey, they're definitely going to win. You never know. That's why you show up to the polls, get out and vote. And what I was seeing all over social media and stuff is like long lines of the polls, which you want to see. You want people to show up. You want people to show up to the polls, right? And what we also want to see is a lot of young people come out. I think that's always good to see. Yes, all ages can come, but sometimes young people tend to not show up as much. And I think if you get candidates out there, they get people excited. Also, you probably feel the same way that I do. It's like you see the craziness going on with the Trump administration, and you're just like, where's all the sane people? Like, how are you letting Trump do all this stuff? And when you look at the exit polls, I'll just tell you the truth. When you look at the exit polls, people can see it too. Like, you literally see it in the numbers. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is big. And again, 3 big wins for the Democrats. There's going to be more coming in as more is reported. I haven't heard the results of Proposition 50 yet. We'll take a look at that when we get that. But this is where we are right now. It says the NBC News exit poll. Voters disapprove of Trump in New Jersey, Virginia, and other key races. And so essentially you're looking at, okay, so what's the spread, right? You always want to know how close. So this is what it says. A grim national outlook. Voters picking new governors in New Jersey and Virginia also expressed concerns about the way things are going in the country, right? And I think you're all feeling the same. So this are the numbers then. In New Jersey, 65% said they were angry or dissatisfied with the direction of the country. 65% are saying that. 33% said they were satisfied or enthusiastic. And you're always like, who are these people? But that's like a 2-to-1, right? And if this carries, which my opinion thinks it will, but I don't want to jinx it. Like, just show up to the polls. Don't take anything for granted. I mean, this is what you're looking at, right? And here's Virginia. 63% said they were angry, dissatisfied with the direction of the country. And that's compared with 35 who thought they were positive. And we'll see some of the other things that people are saying. Like, what are people's concerns, right? Economic concerns and the cost of living. Like, why are people showing up? Voters in each of the states surveyed over the last several weeks said economic issues or cost of living. And I always tell you the same thing all the time, guys, is follow the money, right? Talk about jobs, talk about the economy, talk about things that really affect people's lives. And, Trumpers, he's always tweeting out, I hate this pop star, I hate that pop star, or whatever nonsense. He's building ballrooms. Like, if you really care about the American people, you talk about this stuff. This is what people are concerned about, right? In Virginia and California, the economy topped the list of voters' concerns. And in New York City, right, 56% of voters said the cost of living was the most important issue. And a lot of people are feeling this. Just things cost too much. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Jobs don't pay enough and things cost too much. I think you guys know this stuff. And so oftentimes it just feels like when you hang out with the Trump people, they're completely out of touch where they just tell you how rich you are all the time from the tariffs, like that you're paying. It's just like, what are you talking about? This is New Jersey says then, New Jersey taxes and economy both ranked high on voters' list of concerns. Okay. Financial worries came through as voters described their own family's financial situations. In each state surveyed, most voters said they were either, quote, holding steady, talking about their situation, or actively falling behind financially. Far smaller shares in any state of locality said they were getting ahead. This is what average people are saying, right? You can literally see it. So from basically from a 2-to-1 ratio, people are saying, I don't like the direction that things are going. It's basically what it is. And then people are just barely making it. And I'm calming down here because when you read this, you just, I'm excited for the wins, but you also want to remember there's a lot of work ahead. And you really want to be, in this day and age, looking out for the family members, looking out for people around you. Because I'll be frank with you guys, the shutdown is still going on. Trump is now threatening to not pay people. I saw that, they not pay people who are furloughed. I also see that Trump, okay, now he wants to go start wars in Nigeria, Colombia, Venezuela. He wants to, I guess, send all their money away to Argentina. They're pretending they don't have enough money for food. I'm just saying to say I am excited about the results because people can see it, but there's still a long fight ahead. And also reminded that there are a lot of people out there just really struggling. You can see it in the numbers. That's why I'm going over this stuff with you. More. What else does it say? In New Jersey, and this is sort of again, what issues matter to people. In New Jersey, a majority of voters said property taxes and electricity costs were major problems in their state. About 60% said the state's economy is not so good or poor, and 38% said good or excellent. And we just talked about this recently where some people were sharing their electricity bills in New Jersey, and it was like the 4 and 500-ish kind of stuff. And it was like, oh my God, who pays this stuff? And it's crazy. So I completely understand, right? Just costs are too high. That's what it boils down to. Costs are too high. What about Virginia? Virginia, where the government shut down and federal government cuts affect many families this year, 6 in 10 said the federal government cuts this year affected their family's finances a lot, right? Or a little, 39, right? So a lot of people are affected by this, which makes sense. For those of you who live in the DC area, right? You know this. You probably are affected by this. You have a family member, or your neighbors are affected by it. So every city is a little bit different, or I should say, region a little bit different what they care about most. But it's all related to basically things cost too much, or worried about your economic situation. You can see it in the numbers. Here's another one. Large majority of New York City voters said the cost of living was the most important issue facing the city. 72% said the cost of housing was a major problem, and 65% said the city's economy was not so good or poor. I used to live in New York City. I'll just tell you, it's ridiculously expensive there. And this is for a lot of cities. We got to figure out ways to get more affordable housing. And there's any number of things they're doing. Zoran has talked about all sorts of interesting innovations. And I'll just say this. For those Americans out there to say, Zoran's way to left and I could never, want affordable healthcare or never want affordable food. I'm telling you the truth, guys. If you go outside the USA, a lot of stuff that Zoran is saying is pretty normal. I don't even know. You don't even have to go that far. Just take a look at what they're doing in Canada, and Zoran wouldn't be that crazy of a person in Canada. It's just, and I'm telling you, I live here in Korea, and the stuff that Zoran's saying is yeah, we got that stuff here. For example, if someone says and talks about free transit, we have that here. We have that here for I think it's people over 65, and they're always coming up with ways to benefit the public. For me, a big one is have public parks. Public parks is really, really good, and I know that we can argue about any number of things on the channel, and people say, oh, Chris, well, I don't like this, I don't like that, and that's fine. And I think and it's any number of things. And I think, though, at the end of the day, regardless of where you are in the aisle, or you maybe don't like either party, we just need people in place who are willing to have discussion. That's what democracy is, right? Work with your fellow citizens. Don't see your fellow citizens as being your enemy. Just look at this hey, we're just trying to figure out how we can best solve this together that benefits all of us. And I think, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems in USA, and you could argue around the world, but I mean, definitely in the USA, is this major push for profits only, right? It's all about the money and not focusing enough about the people. And also we have all this sort of too much imbalance between the rich and the poor, to be frank with you guys. I mean, at this stage in the game, when you see, and we talk about other, topics on the channel where Elon Musk is begging for his $1 trillion pay package, it's like, it's ridiculous. While other people are just like, hey, can I just get food on the table? I mean, that's like the major divide. And, essentially what we got to be thinking about is how can we get a more fairer system that benefits all of us, not just some of us. And I want to continue having this dialogue as we'll go through this stuff every single day. And I'll just say this, enjoy today. This is a big wins, and midterms are coming. I keep telling you guys that. And also it's reassuring to myself, and I'm sure it's reassuring to you as well, that, hey, at least today there are more sane people out there, and I want to see us keep pushing in the right direction. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please be careful out there, and I'll catch you all in the next video.